All right, we doing it. Yo, what's going down? It's your homie Jay Green. You already know that you at Green Screen. Okay, I got my man Barry in the building. Barry, say what's up
What's
to the
up? What's
people.
up? What's up?
Hell
What's up,
yeah.
everybody?
So hopefully y'all can hear me pretty smooth because last week your homie was messing up, right? I don't know what was going on. I don't know what was going on with my connection to StreamYard. I tried
Yeah.
all week long. I was up hella late trying to figure it out. I couldn't figure it out. Right now I'm on the restream. Okay, you see I got that watermark. If we're doing well enough, maybe I get rid of the watermark. We see what's
Help us
but
out, right?
hopefully everything is working today. So let me know in the chats, all that sort of stuff. I'll see what I can do if it doesn't. But today we're going to be talking about End of Oakstreet. You dig? But off top in the beginning, I wanted to address a couple of things that's hot in movie news, some things that's on the top of my head. I want to address some stuff with my man Barry. We're going to talk Marvel. If y'all don't know about D23, it's basically Disney's convention. If you think about like Comic Con, things like that, that's
hmm
Disney's specific. They have announcements for coming up. They're talking about Doomsday, things of that nature. So I just want to address a little bit of that. I want to talk about the success that Spider-Man is having. I want to talk about Blade finally getting canceled. Oh my God, let me tell you. Okay. I want to talk about
Yeah.
Netflix coming in hot with
Crazy.
A Different World. If y'all don't know what A Different World is, we'll break that down. But it's a
hmm
sequel show to an old school show that came out like early 90s. Okay. And then I want to talk about Paramount and Warner Brothers. I am a huge Warner Brothers fan, right? I'll get into it more. But anyways, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then we're going to
Yep.
jump into our review. We'll let you know if we're going to spoil some shit. I'm definitely going to spoil a couple of things. So I'll let you
Probably
know
will.
before I'll let you know before we get to that if you feel that this dinosaur in the neighborhood movie shouldn't be spoiled. Okay. So that being said, we finna jump in to the first topic. First, I want to say right now, boom. Uh, right now, my wife is finally on, and I want to tell you, baby, you better stay your ass awake. Now, all credit where credit is due to my lovely wife. She's a pediatric oncology nurse, and she works nights. Okay, we got 3 kids, so I know she's working hard. She's tired, all that sort of stuff. So I don't beat her up too much about it. But at the same time, I'm like, babe, come on. So, so hopefully everything goes smooth tonight. Hopefully, she's finally catching this show, and she could chime in the chats from time to time. That would be fun.
Nice,
All right.
nice, nice.
But with that said, let's jump in. Barry, Marvel,
Yeah.
D23 went down. We got some casting announcements for X-Men. This shit's coming to life. If I'm not
Yes,
mistaken,
yes.
I don't remember the name. I don't know if you want to look it up, but I don't remember the name of the
Yeah.
dude that they cast as Professor Xavier. But we got our Sadie Sink. We seen her killing it, or we got our Jean Grey by Sadie Sink. We seen her killing it
Yep.
in Spider-Man Brand New Day. We got our
Yep.
Xavier coming in hot. I think they've also casted the dude who's supposed to play Cyclops,
Yeah, his
right?
name is
So
Kit Connor. Yeah, Kit
mhm,
Connor.
right? That sounds like a comic book character right there.
It sounds like he
Um,
sounds like
straight
Cyclops. Would be a Kit
straight
Connor.
up, straight up. But yeah, it's coming to fruition. I'm excited. I'm excited. And
Yeah, me too.
as I said before in my Spider-Man Brand New Day review, I'm excited because the way that they portrayed Jean Grey in that movie
Yeah.
and the trauma and the hurt and the pain that she had going on in her mind and her heart and all that sort of stuff, and just the anger and the how should I say, like, the level that she was willing to go when you think about Professor Xavier and what he does for
Excuse me.
the people that go to his school, that's already an
Yeah.
emotional arc I'm waiting to see. I'm excited for that. So, big ups.
Right.
And then,
Right.
um and then yeah,
Right.
so what do you think about the casting so far for, like, what you've heard of, Barry?
You know what? I kind of like the casting, man. I think the casting is pretty tight. Maya Boyd as Storm, I like her. I thought they could have maybe. I thought the other lady was going to have it. I think I liked her a little better. I think she was a little more mature, a little bit more, and she filled out the costume a little bit more. Just to say, because we know how everything is drawn, and you want things as accurate as possible. And when it comes to Storm, Storm is
Oh,
a
yes.
Spawn's like an African queen. You know what I mean? She is stacked, and she comes from good eats. So we need to represent that, you know what I mean? And I think that the Maya boy is a little on the thin side, for my taste. But I tell you what, either way, they got the look right. I did like that. Now, for the rest of it here, now for the rest of it, I am very, very, very happy too that Indy never ready had as vote as Rogue. If anyone's
Yeah.
seen Obsession, you need someone that has layers. Rogue has a lot of layers because no, she can't be touched. You know, she had a tumultuous just upbringing, learning her powers. Like we know, if anyone knows the story of Rogue, is not very cool. And even when she becomes an X Men, and then she gets with my man
Uh,
Gambit, you
oh, no,
know,
okay.
and all that. Yeah, Gambit and whatnot. She's a woman. She likes, she wants to get on. She wants to do things. She got needs, and she can't do it, and that's the stressors her out. And even it's a simple touch, a simple hug has to be very. You got to be careful about touching her. So I think someone needs to have layers, not just speaking wise as a character, but also shown in their face, shown in their mannerisms. And Indy Navarrete, what she did in Obsession proved that. So I'm very happy for her being a young actor and getting a chance like this. So I'm really cool with that. Now, to answer your question, um, Justin, about Professor Xavier, I don't know much about this cat, Christopher Abbott. That's his
Mhm.
name.
Yeah.
I did tell you about movie things he's been in, but I'm not familiar with him. He has a cool. I could see his look. I could see him being that Xavier, but the way he looks though, I kind of like it because he looks a little rugged. Like he looks like he's already a little disjointed. You know the way
Yeah.
his face is or whatnot. So it gets a little ruggedness, like he's been through some shit. Like he's not in that
Mhm.
wheelchair for no reason. I mean, things happen. So you want like okay, been through stuff. So he's not smiling all the time and whatnot. He's here just for a cause. So all in all, man, I think it's all right. I think Samara Weaving as Emma Frost. Don't know much
I like
about her, but
that.
she looks like Emma Frost.
So,
She's a
did you
banger.
ever
So
did you ever see the movie, Ready or Not?
yes,
Okay, they
yes, I
just
did.
came out with the sequel. I wanted to see
Right.
the sequel, just couldn't get around to it.
Oh, is
But that
that
movie
her?
Ready that's Samara Weaving, right?
Oh, okay.
She looks hella like Margot Robbie. So when that movie
Yeah.
came out, I don't remember ever seeing her before that, but when that movie came out, I was
Right.
like, "Oh, Margot Robbie got a little horror movie coming out. Cool." And that's pretty much what everybody thought. So
I did so.
I'm
I did
I'm
so too. Yeah.
I'm definitely like, if you know, like, Emma Frost, like,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a
But
good
yeah,
look. She's gonna be fly.
yeah,
And she's a
she
great
looked
actress
good. She's
too.
beautiful. She's very good.
Yeah.
She's very good. And
So
you can see that
I'm
too.
really excited.
I am. And the guy, Kit Connor, Cyclops. All right, what do you think, Justin? I'm just saying, it's just me, but Cyclops can be any conservative cat. Cyclops don't need to be. You can throw some swag in there, but if you really want to, and Kit
Listen,
kind of look like he's just a conservative. So what do you think? I mean,
I don't know Kit Connor, but I'm gonna tell you like this. Having grown up watching the '90s, X-Men,
yeah,
I wasn't super deep into the X-Men comic books, but Cyclops
right,
is a leader, right?
right,
Cyclops, I mean, anybody in the chat, let me know what's up if you down with X-Men from the comic books to the films and the cartoons and all that sort of stuff.
right.
Cyclops is pretty much probably going to be the Captain America of the X-Men team. You know what I'm saying? He's that
Yes, yeah,
leader.
that's he
He's that
is.
tactician. So they did James Marsden's Cyclops dirty. They did this man so dirty.
Oh yeah,
He never got
yeah.
no love, you know what I'm saying? James Marsden's a great actor, and he never got no
Yes,
love as Cyclops. He wasn't able to actually do his thing, you know what I'm saying? So I think that with the way you learn from, the lessons of before, right? You learn from your pitfalls from before. So I think with what they're
right,
gonna do with the team now, they're gonna build all that ish out. They're gonna give Cyclops his just due. You're gonna let this man lead, you know what I'm saying?
right,
They haven't announced like Wolverine yet. Obviously, we still got Hugh Jackman right now in our eyes.
right.
So you gotta be very Hugh Jackman's or the Wolverine casting is gonna be like casting a Batman. It's gonna be like casting a James Bond. That's just gonna be huge,
I think
right?
it's be like more like a James Bond than Batman. James Bond is really you gotta be really careful. Yeah, I
The
think
only the
yeah,
only thing I would say is like James Bond, it's known that like, all right, we're gonna get a different James Bond.
yeah,
Batman, yeah, you get different Batmans, but at the same time, Batman's very specific, so people hold that shit, like,
mm,
close. With James Bond, you're like,
yeah,
Oh, okay, we'll see what's up." You know what I mean? Unless it's
right.
Idris Elba,
People
some people just lose their fucking minds for no goddamn reason.
As we say.
But you know what I'm saying? So it will be interesting, but bottom line is, kinda wrapping it up on the X-Men talk, but bottom line is, I'm super excited for what we're seeing right now because I think
Yeah,
that
me too.
I really think that they are gonna hit it out the park, and they've learned some lessons from the stories of, like, the first class as it went on,
Mm.
and it was kinda like, like, don't just give us what we know are the huge story arcs, build the characters first, and I think they're gonna do that. I think they're gonna do that. So I'm
And
excited for it.
I think I agree. I think that looking at everyone that's picked so far looks good. Some people, like I said, I don't know, but I'm quite sure that when the costumes come on and everything else and everything's going forward, yeah, I think it's going to work out really well
Mhm,
because number one, they're going to have a lot of the same people. I think so from what I heard before. There's a lot of people that are already working like in for Doomsday, for all of these upcoming Marvel movies. They're keeping a lot of people intact. So as
mhm,
long as you see one or two that looks pretty good or work pretty well, you know that it's going to kind of lean into the other stories and kind of work the same template. So, but like you said too, them right now starting these guys young, their contracts are going for years. Like, listen, bro, you see what
oh,
happened
yeah,
with the Avengers. You guys are in for the next 10 years, no doubt. Like, are you ready for this? You're gonna grow up in this. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I think that they were like, yeah, sure, you can get this amount of money, sure, whatever you want. Um, so I'm excited too to see where they go. But like you said, for Wolverine though, I think they're waiting for that. I think what they want to do with that is be a surprise. I think that they're going
yeah,
to have it, and maybe in what's the second Doomsday movie, Secret Wars. Don't be
yeah.
surprised they bring them up in Secret Wars. Just pop up like they did
Yep,
Spider Man with
mhm,
Captain America. Like he just
mhm.
popped up. Like, oh, who's this? So yeah, yeah. So I like
I'll
it. I
say I'll
like it.
say real quick before moving on, have you seen the movie, Iron Claw with, Zac Efron?
No, I did not. I did want to see it though, but I did not.
That that movie will it's a hard movie it's not hard to watch because it's bad, it's just it's a
Okay.
very, like, dark, deep movie, there's a lot of sad shit in that movie, but it's a
Okay.
phenomenally acted, brilliantly directed movie, it's really good, but
Mm,
Zac
okay.
Efron is we've always seen Zac Efron, like, ever since, like, once he grew up, you know what I'm saying, outside of,
Oh
like,
yeah.
20 or 7 was it Always 17 or whatever that movie was that he
Yeah,
did, but
yeah, yeah. It was the
when he
musical. Yeah, musical.
in
How? Yeah, High
in
School
yeah.
Musical.
There you go. In that movie, he is freaking yoked. I would love to see Zac Efron as a Wolverine, just because he's a bit of a short
Thank
king, you know
you.
what I'm saying? You know what I'm
Thank you,
saying?
bro. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Because oh my God, yo, Jay. Okay, listen, Jay. We listen. Justin and I met each other about maybe almost a year, almost already, right? Even way
Yeah.
before a couple years ago, I also said it too, and Jay's right on the same level. Yo, I was like, I know his name sounds funny to you, but when I was looking at Zac Efron, when he made the movie, the stupid movie, what was it? The
Baywatch?
beach movie, Baywatch. When I saw him in
Baywatch,
Baywatch,
yep.
and so I seen him, I'm like looking at him, I'm like, yo,
That was swole
he
as
would
fuck.
be he'll be a hellified Wolverine. And then you start seeing Hugh Jackman hang around with him a lot. You start seeing that in the tabloids. He's just hanging around. Like I think he just want to get people a feel. You know how they play around with that. And I'm like, yo, I think he'd really be a good one. And they go just as like, yo, I'm just saying. I saw that movie.
Yep.
I think he could pull it off. I'm like,
He
yes, I'm
could,
not
man.
alone in this.
He's
I
got
thought
that
people
he's
was
got
like
that
this is
jawline.
crazy.
He's got that
Yes,
chiseled jawline. And
yes. Thank you,
and
Justin.
Zac Efron and Hugh Jackman were in The Greatest Showman together.
You
So,
know what? That's
they
true. They were promoting that
they
too.
are
Right,
homies.
right.
They are homies.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
homies. Yeah, but yeah, I think I agree, bro. Thank you. I don't feel alone. Thank you. Yes. So, what do
Yes.
you guys think? You guys think that Zac Efron? Stop worrying about the name. Just look at the man. Do you think he can actually do it? Anyway, I just want to know what people say.
Yeah. Alright, so the other thing, like I said, I just wanna address real quick, Spider-Man: Brand New Day, 2 billion in 3 weeks. God
That
damn.
is sick. Hold
I
up. I gotta
I
look at the
think I had
numbers. Go
read that it
ahead.
was, like, the fastest movie to get to 2 billion. Like, at least I
I
don't know
think it's
about
the fastest
worldwide,
movie
but
to get. Yo, Justin, I think they said it's the fastest movie to get to a billion in less than 7 days. It got
yeah.
to a billion
Well,
less than 7 days. In 5 or 6 days, it got to a billion.
actually,
It wasn't.
either I think
I could be wrong, but
Endgame or Force Awakens might have beaten it by a day. But right now, yeah, still 3 weeks to 2 billion, and it's worth it. That movie is phenomenal, okay?
yes, it is. Yes, it
Um,
is.
but at the same time,
Ooh.
what do you call it? But at the same time, if you look at, the
Mm.
domestic, I think Star Wars: Force Awakens has the highest domestic of all time, and Spider-Man: Brand New Day could take it out of that top spot. So, I'm here for that. Let's go.
Yeah, I gotta look at the history on this, but I'm looking at the numbers now, and this is crazy. So, all right. So, if you're saying that The Force Awakens was domestically, you say it was higher. That means it had to beat right now. Domestic box office is 785,832. I mean, million, excuse me,
Mm,
785 million,
yeah.
832. That's a
Dom
lot.
domestic. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Domestic. And then international, 1,236,000,000
Yeah.
that's recorded today. Ooh, that's crazy. Everyone getting bonuses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody getting
Everybody.
bonuses.
Everybody about
Everybody.
to eat. Hey, real quick though, now I wanna talk about, Blade real quick because I'm sorry to keep y'all. I know y'all here for the and we're gonna get to the end of Oak Street. I'm
We
sorry,
will get there. We'll get there.
if you know me, if you've been following me and you watch the reviews in full, I talk a lot. My bad. Real quick though, I wanna say what's up to Subjective Style. So they're saying Zach is too innocent for Wolverine. I can see where you're coming from, but
He's going by the
did
name.
you but did you see Iron Claw? I haven't seen everything Zac Efron's done, but did you see
Right.
Iron Claw? And I would also submit, think about what people thought about Robert Pattinson for Batman. He worked. Think about what people thought about Heath Ledger for Joker. So the
Right.
actors that are good, they can do it. But yeah, Iron Claw, I feel like that could show you the dark side, where the deeper brooding side of Wolverine, and Zac Efron could do that. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, I
I
didn't.
agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
check it out, my man. Come back, check it out. Um, Now I want to talk about this because this got me hot, boy. Let me tell you. So Barry,
Yeah.
shoot,
Yo.
it was literally like 6, 7 years ago. Your
I
homie right
cannot believe
here,
it's that long. Like
6,
7 years?
7 years ago. Your
That's
homie right here
crazy.
was in Hall H after I was blown away because I think this might have been the first Hall H or first Comic Con I ever went to, and I was in
Oh,
Hall
cool.
H, right? And that shit's a feat in of itself. But I'm in
Oh
there.
man, you
The
was
whole
there?
I was
Oh
there.
wow.
The whole
Wow.
Marvel panel goes down. It's amazing, right? You're like, "Oh my god, mind blown. This shit is crazy. Fuck, I'm glad I slept on the ground for fucking 3 days." All that shit,
Yeah.
right? And then and then and then and then Kevin
Yeah,
Feige's
yeah.
like, "Oh, yo, we got one more announcement." He brings Mahershala Ali, two-time at that
Yeah.
time, two-time Academy Award winning Mahershala Ali.
Ali.
He brings him
Yeah.
out on stage and was like, "Blade, motherfuckers." He doesn't say it like that, but I'm ad-libbing, right?
Right.
He's like, "Blade," and then puts the Blade hat on. I lost my shit. I was like, "Fuck, let's go." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Instantly, I
Right.
just knew that, "Oh, man, this is gonna be dope," right? Here we are 6, 7 years later, and finally they're like, "Nah, no Blade. Nah, not
Yeah.
gonna happen."
Yeah. Oh my
And
god.
there was an interview that Mahershala Ali did, and they asked him, of course they're gonna ask him about it, right? Because we ain't
Mhm.
really seen a lot of Mahershala Ali since that goddamn announcement. Because he's probably trying to keep his
Right.
schedule freed up for the movie, I would have to imagine. I mean,
Right.
again, this man has 2 Academy
Well,
Awards on his
right.
mantle.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm
Well, there
saying?
was a
I
lot.
mean,
Right.
he was in Jurassic Park, but
Yeah, but
that's
that was
probably
like,
because
yeah. Yeah.
he was like, "Man, Disney ain't doing shit." But he was in
Right.
he was in an interview and they asked him about it, and he's like, "Look, if Marvel got all this money, if they wanted to do it, they'd have done the shit." And
Mm.
I feel like I don't think that Marvel straight up, uh, did him dirty in the sense of like, "Yeah, we just don't wanna do him like this," you know what I'm saying? We don't wanna give him that opportunity. I don't think, I'm gonna be real with y'all, I don't think it was necessarily like a race thing or anything like that, right? Because some people might say,
Mm.
"Oh, look how they do their female leads, their female superheroes. Look how they do their
Yeah.
black superheroes." You know what I'm saying? But I would also submit that if you look at the first Ant-Man movie, that first Ant-Man movie was supposed to be directed by I'm just blanked on the dude's name, but he did Baby Driver. I don't want to say Gareth Edwards. No, it wasn't Gareth Edwards. It was Edgar Wright.
Uh,
The first Ant-Man movie was
right.
supposed to be directed by Edgar Wright, but by the time Marvel was where Marvel was when that movie was gonna come out or get made, they were just
Yeah.
kind of in a different direction than Edgar Wright's thought process, than his creative, direction for that film. So, because there was gonna be creative differences and all that, Kevin Feige was, forward thinking, and he was like, we just gotta go in a different direction." So, if I'm not mistaken, Peyton Reed was the guy they took on. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't necessarily understand why, because there's so many different directors. There's at least like 3 to 4 different directors that were on board with this film, and then
Mhm.
it got shelved. There was different
Yeah.
writers, right? But you
Yeah.
still had your main star.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I mean to say that at no point in time in all of Marveldom, right? At no point in time in all of Marveldom has there ever been a legitimate opportunity for you to say, "Oh yeah, we got vampires." That shit don't make no sense. Which is again
Yeah.
why I said after Endgame, Marvel should, and I'm not gonna stay on this forever, so I'm gonna get your thoughts, Barry, in a second. But that's again why I said that after Endgame, y'all should have just taken a
Yeah.
break, built out your separate universes, and some shit, maybe it just can't go into the whole thing. Maybe it doesn't go into the cinematic universe, but it's its own entity. Let it just
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah,
what it is, eat off of
yeah.
that, and then you have your main thing, all good. Anyways, Barry, what do you think about Mahershala Ali getting jerked off for 6, 7 years? You know
Well,
what I'm
number
saying?
one, yeah, well, I know the first thing is that Michelle Ali got paid for those 6, 7 years, so he was just kinda eating for
Oh, he got
free. You
he
know what
got
I
his
mean?
money. That's facts.
All that, you know
That's
what I'm
facts.
saying? So, but on top of that too, yeah, I think it's much more than what both of them are saying, because I can see creative differences, say maybe one, even two, but like different, maybe in different fields, maybe an actor, maybe a director, maybe a producer. You can see that that happens a lot. You can see all the time. But this particular one, didn't they go through like two or three directors, right? And
Yep.
then, like you said, all the years is like all this delay. There is something else in there that both of them are not saying. Now, Michelle Ali is like, listen, if they really wanted to make it, they got billions of dollars, they could have made it. True facts, true. But it's not just about that. Now, and then Feige says, hey, you know what? This is the one of the worst like situations I ever had. I regret this ever happening. I wish that we can do this. This is one of my failures. Like he's just falling on the blade on that one. You know,
Mhm.
no pun intended, by the way. And you know what I mean? So he's trying to kind of give you that kind of feel like, yo, I tried, man, all I can, I really wanted, but the powers that be. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, okay. So what's 6, 7 years? And then now listen, and Michelle Ali hanging on for that long, bruh. I know that other things came along that probably said, hey, listen, we can give you your own series. I know they did. There's no way that Michelle Ali, no one came up to and say, listen, I know Blade ain't working out too well. You're in your fifth year, Cat. You're in your 60 months trying to get this shit going. We got some ideas for you. And he probably said, nah, I want to stick with these guys, yo. I can't wait to get Blade on. Whatever happened between that, Justin, I'm just saying, I can't believe, but I can't believe either one fully. There's
Yeah.
6, 7 years is a long time, brother. You know what I mean? That's a something went down that they just not saying. So I've number one, it's a bad time right now because, like you mentioned, Justin, about right now, they start seeing all of these other shows with black stars and superheroes getting canceled, that are pretty good. You know what I mean? So, like the latest one was what was it? What was the latest one?
Oh,
What was
Wonder
that,
Man.
Justin? Wonder Man
Wonder
was
Man had
awesome. It
that
was
was, I heard it
awesome.
was also, I didn't see it yet, but I heard it was great. And I
Yeah, it
love
was
Yahya
great.
Abdul-Mateen. I
Me
love Yahya
too.
Abdul-Mateen. You got Ben Kingsley, and
Really,
yeah,
Kings,
people
they were
and
killing it.
Dustin, and I didn't realize this, but Dustin Daniel Cretton, the director of a $2
Right.
billion film right now, was the one that brought that shit to fruition. That's his movie. That's his baby. You know what I'm saying?
So
So,
he
yeah.
he so he knows how to tell a story. Obviously, we know this now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, so things like that, and then like the other characters that were in prior stuff. Like in Disney Plus, as you know, Justin, like all these guys never came back, never came to fruition. They just kind of put them to the side, forgot about them. And you're like, it's a bad time because then you start seeing five. It was like five characters, and they're all black. It
Mhm.
is what it is, man. We try not to see it. No, see it. Like, it's what's the old adage that Maya Angelou always said? Once someone tells you who they are, believe them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, don't try to make excuses for them. They come to you crooked. They come to you left on the left. Then you believe them. And if they come in that way, what do you want us to do? I mean, what do you want us to do? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just we just have so many spaces to fill. We only got a few boxes. And if you keep taking those boxes away, I mean, we want us to think. So anyway, but all in all, yeah, bro. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, it's got it. That's just really odd. And they
I
both are
I'm
like, I don't know, man.
yeah. I'll
I
tell
don't
you right
know.
now, I hope I live long enough to see the MCU documentary. I hope I live long enough to read
Yes.
Kevin Feige's book. Like, think
Yeah,
about the
yeah, yeah.
behind the scenes stories from all of these things. Like, man.
I know. But you know what? I bet you know what's gonna be crazy? That Blade's gonna eventually get done though. I
Oh, yeah,
really
for
think
sure.
it's eventually gonna get done. Now Michelle Ali may not be the one, but he could still be the one. I mean, because
I
you know,
mean, maybe for
Blade's an older kid. I don't know.
maybe for like a one-off or like 2. This man's like damn near 60 years old.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
You
That's
can't
true.
have no you can't have no Blade with a life alert on his chest, you know what I'm saying? You can't have no Blade waking up, back all hurt, trying to take his vitamins and shit. Let's go get these fuckers,
Waking
you
him
know?
all too late. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, brother,
Day
it's
day
already
after
sunshine.
putting on
Oh.
that sunblock, you know what I'm saying? Nah, he'll be alright though. Alright,
Right,
so
right, right.
next topic real quick, Netflix is coming out with a sequel to A Different World. Now, if y'all don't know A
Mm,
Different World, just so y'all know The Cosby Show, alright? We're not talking about Bill Cosby, but The Cosby
yeah.
Show, okay? That show was, like, extremely influential in a lot of young African Americans' lives. You dig what I'm saying? Bill Cosby was doing some shit on TV that was dope, okay? A Different World was the same similar situation. It was about these kids going to a black college, okay?
Excuse me.
And
Mhm.
that show was like culture, swag. I think Aretha Franklin was the one that did the original theme song for that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
it
that
was
shit
her.
was
Yep.
if I
That's
hear
true.
that,
I
I just
forgot
feel
about that's right.
when
Yeah.
I hear that, I just feel good inside. You had Boys to Men did one of the themes for that show.
Don't.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That show it was dope as hell. And so Netflix is bringing that shit back, and you actually got Whitley, the girl who played Whitley, and the guy who played Dwayne Wayne was his name, right? I think that's the dude with
Kadeem Harrison. Yeah, Kadeem
Kadeem
Harrison.
Harrison with the flip up glasses, classic shit. If y'all,
Right, right.
if
Yep.
any of y'all out there, if any of y'all out there have watched season 3 of Euphoria, dope. If you ask me personally, okay, loved it. But if any of y'all out there have watched season 3 of Euphoria, Kadeem Harrison is the dude that was working in the strip club who had the flip up glasses. That's him. So him and Whitley have a daughter. She's going to Hillman. That was the black college. And so we're going to see all
Yeah.
those trials and tribulations and whatnot. So it's going to be dope. And Brandy, black goddess
Oh,
Brandy, and her
Brandy.
beautiful
Mm.
ass voice. She got that like
Mhm.
smoker's voice. I don't think she smokes, but she got that smoker's
Oh, that's
rasp to her
sexy.
right
That's
now.
sexy. That's sexy.
It's nice, right? And she's
Uh-huh.
doing the theme. Now I heard the theme the other day. I'm like, I'm not really feeling it. It sounds like the original theme, like chopped and screwed, but it's cool.
Mm.
It's fly. But Barry, did you know that Netflix was bringing this shit back?
I heard about it and did not know like when. Like I just heard like murmurs about it. I saw something
So
a while ago. So when you mentioned it, I was like, oh, what? I have to look this up. So
yeah,
I'm looking at it now, man.
it's coming out next month, September, uh, 26th, if I'm not mistaken. No, September
Oh man.
24th. It's gonna be
Okay,
going down. So
I'm definitely
I can't
watching it, no doubt.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to
Well,
it.
you know what, man? Just to kind of throw something else with that, man, is that some of the like you mentioned some people from the original Different Strokes, you know, like in Deep Harrison, you know, are coming to this one, right? Just to kind of kind of like just fill that gap, you know, of the two generations. But also,
Mhm.
my man is still around, and I'm happy that he's back as Glenn Turman, the old brother. Remember, Colonel Bradford Taylor.
I think I
And
remember who that was, yeah.
he's the original cat. He's the only older guy that was in the original one. He's still around. He's going to be in this one. I don't know. I got
Mhm.
to be 80 something years old, but you know, he looks great. He's going to be in there. And this woman, I didn't even know she's going to be in there, Justin. And I think she's hilarious. She was in Martin. It's Tashina Arnold. I didn't realize
Yeah,
she's going to be in there. I always liked her. She was just so funny. You know what I mean? So she's in there. So you know you got some people there that can actually help guide
oh,
the
yeah,
show and guide the
yeah.
comedy. You got some vets in there for these young cats who are going to take over. You know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
like what they did with that. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to see it too, man.
Yeah, definitely. Last thing before we talk about talk about End of Oak Street, right? Is I just wanted the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I listen to movie news and stuff like that all the damn time, right? And it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
hella interesting. And again, I'm looking forward to the documentary of this. But the reason why I wanted to bring up the Paramount and Warner Brothers situation, and I'll give
Yeah.
y'all just a little touch points, right? Is because my man Barry is a filmmaker, a writer, you know what I'm saying, a director. So he has some skin in the game. Um, Basically, for all y'all that have no idea, you got Paramount is trying to buy Warner Brothers right now, and we're talking about like 111 billion, I think, is the price ticket. And
110. Yeah, 110. Yeah.
yeah, and originally, Netflix looked like they were trying to swoop Warner Brothers. At first, I was like, "Hell nah," but then as Netflix started to talk a little bit deeper and they were like, "Okay, we're actually trying to get into the theatrical business," because I hate how Netflix doesn't put out movies, right? Or they
Mhm.
just put them out for,
Mhm.
like, a week. F that, I'm purely a theater guy, right? Let's go.
That's right.
But
Here.
yeah. So I was like, fuck Netflix, all that sort of shit. But then it started the tie the wheels started to turn and it looked like, okay, Netflix might be pretty dope. Like, let's do this. But then
Mm.
David Ellison, who's running Paramount right now, comes out talking about, nah, fuck that. We're gonna buy Warner Brothers for this much, and we're gonna do this. And guess what? Even if y'all think this ain't gonna go through and you think it ain't gonna work out, how about this? We'll pay you 7 billion if it don't work out, or if y'all change your
Yeah.
minds, or we change our minds, or however it works. 7 billion, and if it doesn't work out by just September 30th, September 30th, we gonna knock down like 650 million a quarter. So right now, there's a whole
It's
bunch of legalities.
crazy.
There's a whole bunch of legalities that are jumping off because for the most part, all of Hollywood is talking about how number one, this is a monopoly situation because if Paramount owns Warner Brothers, you're talking about like swooping up like half, if not most, of Hollywood in that regard.
Yeah.
Then on the other hand, and I might mispronounce it, but monopsony is what it's called. Again, I'm getting this from other people that are smart in the source. So if I'm
So
messing it up, it is what it is. But the point is,
Right, but the
it's like
correction is below.
a monopsony, which is basically to say that like if only one person in all of Hollywood is actually taking scripts, right? So let's say like
Mhm.
a monopoly is like I'm the only one selling shit, and you're gonna have to
Right.
get it from me. You feel me? Or
Yeah.
if all these people are selling shit, but I'm the only one that could buy it. So there's a whole bunch of legalities that go into that. Now, Barry,
Yeah.
from your
That's a lot of
perspective, as someone who is a writer, a director, you know what I'm saying? You got the nonprofit, we got GainsCon, all that sort of swag, right?
right.
If you're trying to get something done, but then someone can undercut your deal, like we know right now that
Yeah.
as an example, these studios or these I don't want to call them organizations, but these studios that basically do the CGI work, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah. Yeah.
go they go to the main studios and say, "Hey, we'll do this work for X." And the studios are just looking for the person that could shoot them the lowest bid. So they're trying to
Yeah.
take the lowest bidder to do this work. Now, if you think all the way back to The Life of Pi, just because I've heard about this so many times, if you think all the
Yeah.
way back to The Life of Pi, that was a gorgeous
Yeah.
film,
Great
and it
movie.
won
Yeah.
and it won
Yeah.
an Academy Award for its visual
Yeah.
effects.
And
But then
disturbing
guess what
movie if you
happened?
really understand it. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
go
yeah, but
ahead.
but then guess what happened to the um company that did those visual effects? They went out of business because they had to sell it
Mm,
for so low that they couldn't keep the lights on. So even though they won an
mm.
Academy Award, they went the fuck out of business. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's where writers like yourself or
Yeah.
directors and people like this that wanna get things done. So from your perspective, like, based on what you know, like, how do you feel about
Yeah.
this whole situation? What do you think is gonna happen?
Well, I think no, I said number one. I'm with you. Just to go back, what you saying about Netflix started and everything, like the whole thing started with Netflix, maybe really being close to get to Warner Brothers. That was I didn't either way. You felt like either one was not a good idea. Number one is be a monopolization. But I want to say this before I go any further. Warner Brothers have to stop being a media whore. They always selling themselves. They've been doing it since the 80s. All right. I used to work for Warner Brothers for like a year, right? A little less than
Oh,
a year or
shit, I
whatever,
didn't know
back in the
that.
days. Yeah. So, back in New York, you know what I mean? Where I was born and raised. So I got that job like after high school, right? So I'm over there and I'm like in Warner Brothers and whatnot. But they were Time Warner then. Like Time got Warner. And next thing you know, you get older, then AT&T gets Warner. And then always, it's like, yo, Warner, why you horn all the time? And then not again, so I'm not surprised, although they give out one of the best movies we ever had. I love Warner Brothers, a great experience, good company. But them doing what they're doing is their problem. Then they hire a CEO, forget his name, I should know his name, that
David
does
Zaslav?
Zaslav. That cat from the jump was a bad decision because he came in there trying to like up the game for Warner Bros, up the stock and everything. It didn't work out for him. It didn't work out quick. So what he did was he broke glass and said, "Oh shoot, I got to give my stockholders money. I got to give these investors their money back. Hell with it, sell it. You already sell stuff anyway. Let's sell it, and it's his fault. If he wanted to really say, no, let me save this company, let's get our own face and let's build this, he would have, but he don't care. And that's why Zaslav is not welcome in a lot of parts in the world right now. I mean, he goes to places, he goes to basketball games and cats don't even come to him. I'm not even like exaggerating. Look him up. So it's
Now,
like everyone knew what the deal was, but all in all, yeah, it's not. I don't like the whole thing. It's monopolizing. It really, really hurts all of us. It hurts not just the people who work in the industry, Justin, but as the
mhm,
consumer, it hurts because now you don't have a chance to see more diversity in movies, not just people. Oh, forget about the people.
mhm,
That's going to go down the drain. But just in storytelling, it's all going to be similar,
yeah.
and they tell you about, yeah, we're going to let you do this. Ellison already talking about, yeah, we're gonna let them do what they have to do. And then when they saying like, yeah, listen, man, we don't like this. What does Ellison does now say? Yo, if you don't do this, man, y'all gonna take everything out of California and screw y'all. Like he's a
Yeah, that's gonna get a bad
child.
look.
Oh
Oh,
my
bad look.
God. And you know what? Everyone that's working for him, Justin, before I know you want to move on, but I just want to say this real quick is that everyone who's working for him, everyone who support these companies are now in dire straits because the people who are working are not going to have a job soon because they're going to downside because any type
Mhm.
of like,
You can't
acquisition, it's always results right into,
you can't
firings.
have redundant jobs, so they're gonna have to get rid of somebody, yeah.
Exactly. And then on top of that, then you have the AI thing coming in, especially too, Justin, like you were saying, going into the world of like visual effects and everything. Those guys are already getting hurt on that. Illustrators are getting hurt on that, so they're just cutting down on everything. And if you get two companies like that, it's too much, bro. It's like too much. It's like putting AT&T and Verizon together. Like, why
Mhm.
would you do that? So we're going to
Yeah,
get screwed because we're not going to have any choices of a lot of things, prices on a lot of stuff, and choices of material. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's not a good thing. I don't
The,
like it at all. It really hurts us.
yeah, the one thing the one thing I'll say before we move on to the review is that, for
Mhm.
Zazov, yeah, I don't think I've heard that David Ellison is, like, a huge movie fan, right? That's what I've heard,
Yeah,
but, of course,
yeah,
it sounds like somebody else is pulling the strings. We know how it works, right? Uh, hi
yeah.
his dad or whatever like that, but
Uh-huh.
with Zaslav, it's the same thing, like, you have, Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi are the ones that had such a phenomenal year last year with Sinners, with Weapons, with all these
Right.
movies that they pushed through that were
People like
phenomenal, right? One
right.
battle after another, all that. You dig? Zaslav, he might be a really good CEO because, AT&T ran Warner Brothers into the ground. It was like,
They did. They did. They
I think
did.
they got it for like 45, 50 billy, and then now it's
Mhm.
worth 110, 111. So Zaslav definitely like took it out of the water for sure, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's a fan of the art. And
Mhm. Mhm.
you do need to kinda have an in between. You have to have someone at the helm that can make your company great, so then you can employ the people that are a fan and that are
Mm.
experts in the craft and do all the things necessary to give us consumer 'cause we I wanna win. Like, think about everything we've getting this year. We're eating good when
Yeah.
it comes to cinema, shit on TV. Green Lanterns comes out tonight, right? So we're
Oh, yeah,
eating good
right.
for sure. So we're winning, but you still need someone that can right the ship, so then that way they can get the funding to do everything they wanna do. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
100%, you kinda you have this, how should I say, like, uh, magical look on like, "Well, I just hope that these people are just, they care about the art. They care about the craft." But
They
it's
don't give a
it's it's the
damn
dollar.
about
It's the
that.
they
But
don't
you
give
know
a fuck.
what? Well, one more thing before we move on. I know you want to move on, but I have to say this. If people, the best CEO for a company to me, obviously, is Bob Iger. If he took the
Yep.
same role Bob Iger did for Disney, he could have did the same thing to Disney. Bob could have came in there because you got to figure it's not just one man. One man is the face of it, but there's a whole what do you call them again? There's people on the board. You have a huge board, bro. As Warner Brothers board is big. So when he comes in there, they're like, okay, do what you got to do, but you got a lot of people on the board that's not of today. So they're like, you know what? We don't, as long as we get the money coming in, we're not worrying about building. See, Bob Iger had that same problem when he did Disney. He had to pull teeth because he got a lot of old people, people who are just kind of settled in. So I was saying, just get some money for us and let's get this going. And that's it. And he was like, no, no, no. Let's make Disney. We got to keep this up and buy and acquire things that's going to help us move forward. And that's why he
Mhm.
got down with Apple. That's why he bought Pixar. Then he bought Star Wars. And then he did all this to make them a powerhouse. And if these guys in Warner Brothers, like the AT&T and those guys, they didn't give a damn. They were like, unfortunately, I'm a New York fan, so they were like the Knicks for a long time. They knew everyone's going to come there anyway, good or bad. People were going to show up, and they didn't really care. As long as they got enough to pay the bills and keep the lights on, they were good. And the problem is that that's why they're in this heat now. So anyway, I
Yeah.
just wanted to just kind of throw that out there because I just hope it falls through and forces them to be a better company.
Yep. Hell yeah. All right, and that's it, guys. That's the show. No, I'm playing. Okay, so
Right, that's it. Bye.
that's it. Deuce. Yeah, no, dope. So yeah, I see people chiming in the chat and all that. Yeah, put your
Yeah,
stuff in there.
yeah,
We'll see it for sure.
yeah. Thank you, Tamika.
We'll definitely put the chats up if I can fit them on the screen later on as we're talking about End of Oak Street. So what we'll
Yeah,
do is this because I'm telling you right now, I have not talked to Barry about what he thinks of End of Oak Street. So this right here, like
yeah.
usually when we do our reviews,
I'll do
we'll,
what
we'll
Justin
just
does, like this.
yeah, usually when we do our reviews, I mean, obviously I put my review out, so I don't know if Barry saw it or not, but usually when we do it, we don't talk about it, so it's more natural, it's more organic. You
Right.
feel me?
And what he's talking about
So
is Mission Movie Reviews. That's what that's our other channel that
yeah.
Justin is with. So
Yeah. So right now we're gonna break the review down to each other as if we were doing like a Mission Movie review. You feel me?
yeah,
But
yeah.
then towards the end, I'm gonna let y'all know if we're gonna jump into some spoilers. So if anybody in here hasn't seen it
Probably.
by that time, you could dip out. But there's
it
honestly there's really not much to spoil with this movie.
really
Okay.
is. It really is it.
I'll tell you right now. You could probably predict it. Let's see. There's a flash of light. They wake up. There's dinosaurs. Someone gets eaten. It's
Yeah,
pretty much the fucking
people
film.
getting got. Yeah, you
People
know.
getting got. You know what I'm saying? All right. So
Yeah.
that being said, let's jump into this. I can't
All
wait,
right, let's
boy.
go. Let's go.
Okay. So
Let's
Barry,
go.
I want to
Woo.
hear your thoughts, baby. Let me hear your thoughts. What you got?
All right. First of all, I went in there number one liking the actors. I'm a fan of Hugh McGregor. What's his name again? McGregor. I'm bad with names,
Ewan
guys.
McGregor. Ewan
Great, Hugh
McGregor.
McGregor. I was right. Hugh McGregor. Yeah, I'm bad with names, guys.
Obi
Trust me.
Wan. Obi Wan.
Obi-Wan, my man. So everyone in board, I was like, okay, this is an interesting take on dinosaurs. Listen, dinosaurs sell as long as you could put them in situations that is a little different than what we've seen for the past like 28, 30 years. You know what I mean? They're always on the island, of course, Jurassic Park. But this whole idea of putting them in like today, like in the neighborhood, was they were trying to lead on, I think it was Jurassic Park 4, I think it was, or something like that. At the end, you saw the Velociraptor look over a town. I think it was that one, I think. And it ended off, it'd be like, oh, that'd be crazy if they went to a town. Now, of course, this came along and they're like, why not do that? So J.J.
Mhm,
Abrams, the owner of Bad Robot Productions, and of course, if you know J.J. Abrams did a bunch of really good films,
mhm.
and then his productions company is having problems, but that's another story. He comes out with this, and if you know anything about J.J. Abrams, he puts everything kind of a mystery. He doesn't really explain everything. Anyway, to me, I had a pretty good time because I went in not expecting something that's totally going to blow me away. I went in there just like Justin said. You're going to go in there. You're going to see dinosaurs in the neighborhood, people getting got, people running and trying to survive. I think that the take on it, I did like. I'm an older cat, so I love the fact that the feel of a Spielberg feel right out the gate. It's set in the 80s. So you have that 80s feel, you have 80s music, 80s clothes. And then you have that 80s feel that Spielberg used to give you with E.T. and Close Encounters of the
Mhm.
Third Kind. It was inspired with that same kind of look and feel and rhythm. So you really it draws you in right away, like, oh, cool. And then a lot of things were very like similar to how it was in the 80s. So they did a really good job with that. The character development, everything was fine. I didn't expect them to go too deep, but what's her face who plays the mom?
Anne
Justin?
Hathaway.
Anne
Anne
Hathaway.
Hathaway.
She is eating this year. Good Lord.
Mm,
What
mm,
is she not in? You know what I mean?
mm.
And so she pretty much takes over the movie. And she had more ebbs and flows with her character, and you really kind of followed her. The kids are just regular '80s kids who just idiots at times. I was an '80s kid. I was an idiot at times. I did some stupid shit. So that's why when people say, "Why are those kids doing stupid stuff, man?" That's stupid. You look at the son. What are you doing that for? I'm like, bro, I was that kid. You was that kid. Probably with the same thing. You know what I mean? So in the spoiler part, we're just now probably tell you what the kid did. But all in all, just to kind of get to it, I enjoyed it. It's not the best thing in the world. Had holes, had its problems. Yes, it did. But all in all, if you just kind of want something to watch that's entertaining, you have to think much. Sure, put it on and you'll like it. Has some good points in there. But otherwise,
Mhm.
yeah, it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah. So
Oh, here
okay,
we go. Here we come.
so here we go. Here we go. Alright, so basically, yeah, I went in there and based on what I saw in the trailer, I'm like, "Okay, I know JJ Abrams is gonna give us that mystery box, and he's not fully" JJ Abrams is like with mysteries as what Zack Snyder is to, uh, storytelling, right? JJ Abrams will set up
Mm,
a dope ass mystery and not
yeah,
really bring it to full fruition. It won't really, uh, stick the landing. Whereas
yeah.
Zack Snyder, he
Purposely
can
done.
give you the Zack Snyder can give you great action, awesome acting and whatnot, dope visuals, but the storytelling is like, "Ugh, God, come on, man. I love you,
Mm,
Zack, but even I
right,
understand, right? I gotta admit."
right.
Um, so in this movie, yeah, I don't need to necessarily know how this is jumping off. What I liked in the movie, as I said in my review, if any of y'all out there didn't see my review, and I'm sure that y'all did because we only got like 3 people watching. Okay. But what I said in my review is like, yeah, I like the premise. Um, Anne Hathaway carries this film. She was terrific. She was phenomenal, right?
Yep.
Some of the action was like pretty fly, pretty dope. But where the movie missed me was like the tone was like all over the place. I don't mind a
Mhm.
movie with tones that can be like that. Look at Thor Ragnarok. It's serious, it's heartfelt, then it's goofy and comical, but they blend it all together. The entire Marvel Cinematic Universe is like that. Some of the
Yeah.
better DC comic book films have been like that. A lot of action movies are like that. Thrillers can even be
Yeah.
like that, where there's something
Yeah.
like comical. Not a big deal. But the thing is like, number one, you're not even showing us like really just a flash of light outside. Okay. And then there's like this big, dome, and we kind of see this in the trailer a little bit, but that's about
Yeah.
it. The dinosaurs didn't look uh really that threatening to me. They honestly, I get maybe they're going for more period accurate dinosaurs now. We're learning more things
Yeah.
about how they
There's a
had
story
feathers.
behind that
Oh,
too. Yeah.
all good, but my son is hella into dinosaurs right now, and he'd be watching dinosaur shit all the time on YouTube, and some of that shit looked identical to what I saw in the movie. That's just me personally, okay? So I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
"Why?"
yeah,
I'm like, "Why the fuck
yeah,
am I watching this
yeah,
shit at the theater?" And then,
yeah,
like,
right.
certain times where, like, Ewan McGregor is, like, fighting a dinosaur with a sledgehammer, I'm like, "Are humans that strong to knock a goddamn dinosaur out?"
I
Like,
told
I'm like, "What are we doing here?" You know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, like, the movie, like you said, the movie wants to be that '80s feel. So when it started out, I was like, "Okay, yeah, this really feels like some Spielberg swag." You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? This movie shouldn't have been called The End of Oak Street. It should have been called The End of Originality because this is every Steven Spielberg film, like, straight lifted. Like, honestly, like,
Pretty
you know what I'm
much,
saying?
pretty much.
Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
everything
in a
from
way.
the kids on bikes to bullies to, like, dinosaurs to the look to the sweat, everything, which, again, I'm not
Yeah,
mad
yeah,
at
yeah.
that,
Right,
but
right, right.
I'm more annoyed because you didn't do anything special with it. Think about that. In the movie, there's nothing, like, special about the film. The movie, I'm not spoiling anything. This is not a spoiler necessarily, but there's a scene where Anne Hathaway's character as the mom is like going to talk to someone, or she's going in the house or whatever, and you
Yeah,
randomly hear like over the radio or over the news broadcast on the TV about some type of like solar flares or some shit like this.
yeah,
Where's this audio coming from? They're not showing the radio. They're not showing the TV. So it's
yeah.
just there at a
I
block
didn't even think
party.
about that.
Like,
Yeah, I didn't think
this
about
makes no
that.
sense. In the '80s at a block party, you either have the record player on or the radio playing music. It's broad fucking daylight. Like, you're not
Yeah,
putting
yeah, yeah,
some type of news bulletin. And another thing is like, if you're trying to tell us that this is like something that the world needs to be concerned with. Like these solar flares are so big and so outlandish. We've never seen anything like this, whatever. Then actually make it to be where like maybe some people are inside waiting on the meat to be done on the barbecue grill and they're watching this news, just like Apollo 13. Like we see people sitting in the living
Mhm.
room watching that shit. If it's that important, build something into it. And then when it happens, so I just feel like they didn't build this reason for this shit to go
Mm.
on. And then if it was like whatever, cool, fine.
Right.
Don't build it out. But then but then, like, when we talk about the kids, I kept getting into the movie, and then these annoying ass children would take me to fuck out. Now, Barry, you had
Yeah,
mentioned
yeah.
that when we was kids, we did dumb shit. This
I
is true. Just in case someone out there, you don't
right,
notice about me, I've been chased by a dog before. I have. There was a kid in my
right.
neighborhood who had a Rottweiler, and he would let this Rottweiler chase kids, and then that Rottweiler would have that little red thing pop out. I was terrified. That's why I have a thing
Right.
about, like, big ass dogs. I'm always super nervous about that shit. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay, okay.
My wife loves dogs, and she loves them big
Yeah.
ass head dogs. And I tell her all the
Right.
time, I'm like, "Baby, you better get my goddamn children away from that big ass dog." She's like, "No, it's friendly." I'm like, "Do you know that dog? Are you fucking kidding me?" Like,
Right, right,
fuck that
right,
shit.
right,
So,
right.
point being is, I lost my train of thought, but but the point being is that, like, as a kid, at a certain point in time,
Oh,
you look
being
out that
being
window.
foolish.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you look out that window and you see your neighbor shooting at pterodactyls, right? And then that neighbor's about to get got. You see some people running around the street, running away from dinosaurs, and they getting ripped in half. You are not going out to look for your fucking dog. I'm sorry, that is dumb,
Yeah.
and you've
Yes.
lost me at that
Yes.
point. And
Yes.
and then
Oh,
a
good.
and then
I know what you wanna say.
if you're out and about, like nothing can happen, like, you're moving around like there's no dinosaurs lurking behind the trees, like, just ridiculous. So it's like, you lost me with
Right,
that.
right.
And
Yeah,
again, I'm not
yeah.
gonna spoil anything right now. I'm not gonna spoil
Not
anything
not
right
yet,
now,
not yet.
but let's just say that the way that it all wraps up was extremely underdeveloped. Like, what?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me you know what? Let me just chime in that real quick because like just to say where how it wraps up was one of those things where you felt like, okay, they want this to be a Saturday afternoon special. For real. It's something you just throw on Saturday afternoon back in the days. Everything is safe. He has some little scary parts for like a little scream, hey, but otherwise, that's what it was. I tell you the truth. As much as we love cinema, Justin loves cinema, I love cinema. I really want all movies to go in cinema first, you know, all of that. Always did. This one, listen, I enjoyed it just because it felt like a Saturday afternoon special. But realistically, it didn't really mean in cinema. It was like a wasted space. Let's put something else there that needs to be in the cinema. But I did want to say this real quick. There is a when Justin was talking about the bikes, right? You got the kids out there with the bikes. You know how I connected? Because I was that one brother with those three white boys in there. I was that cat all the time. I was the only brother on the bike in the neighborhood all doing this. So every time I see that from Stranger Things and all that, that was me. So that's why it connects me right away. Like, oh yeah, I was that kid. In fact, I had a bike, something like that too. Damn, you
oh,
know.
yeah, we all did.
Even it's funny. You want to see some funny stuff? Okay, wait. I said now I'm not going to. It's not really a spoiler. It doesn't really matter much, kinda, but it doesn't really matter much. There's bullies. Every block had bullies. That bully had a token brother too. Like you couldn't have a group unless you had a token brother in there somewhere. And they showed that. But I think it was almost like an inside joke because back in the days in the 80s in movies, what do we have? Tokens. So there was a lot of little things in there that if you picked up, I was like, okay, maybe that's something that's like an Easter egg or something. But it was one of those things. So, but when we get into the spoilers, Justin, just remind me about the kids' friends. There's something I put down here. Just remind me just to bring that up. I think it's kind of like hilarious. But anyway,
Yes. Now, real quick, check spoil that shot. Okay, so
okay.
if anyone in the
Okay.
right now, we like I said, I see 3 people watching. So if anybody has not seen
Okay.
this movie and you don't want it to be spoiled, I'm about to say some shit right now, right? But
Yeah,
listen,
cover your
and
ears.
listen good, and listen good. I hate to say before I jump into some real spoilers, I hate to
Yeah.
say this, but in life, sometimes, sometimes the thing you hate to say you have to say. And this to me is a prime example from someone who thinks the way I think. I know what I just said is not setting it up well, but listen,
Mm.
this might be one of the most woke and unoriginal movies I've ever seen in my entire life. What does he mean by that? Let me tell you. Let me tell
Yeah.
you. So, Ewan McGregor in this movie is a bitch. Okay?
It is. It is.
I'm gonna
It
give you
is.
I'm gonna give you some, not because of certain things that go on to that cause some quote unquote conflict. I'm gonna address that in a second. He's a bitch just because they wrote his character to be a bitch. Like, he's
Right.
not
Yeah,
doing anything. He's
right.
not really helping anything.
No.
He's not stepping up as a protective father. He's not stepping up as a protective husband. He
Nope.
doesn't want to actually go and find a way out of this situation. He wants to just chill at the house and hope that things get better in the morning. That's all he
Right.
wants to do.
Mm,
Anne
yeah.
Hathaway is the fucking one out there doing some shit, which I'm not
Yeah.
mad at. I'm not mad at,
Yeah.
but
Right.
that's
Right.
strike number 1. Strike number 1 on purpose. Um, okay, now I'm gonna go into some spoilers, okay? Now I'm gonna go into a little bit of spoilers, but it's not really spoilers. So, Ewan McGregor, bitch in the movie, right?
Right. Right.
I like Ewan McGregor. I love Ewan McGregor. He's a great
Yeah.
actor, right? But his character, the way they wrote him, so I'm not talking
The
about
way
the
they wrote
man, I'm
him.
talking about his character, okay?
Right.
The daughter out of nowhere is a lesbian. That's cool. I don't mind that shit. I
Right.
got
Right.
plenty of
Yeah.
gay friends, right? It's all good. But what I'm saying is like there's things in this movie between Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway as a couple. There's things with the brother, right? We talk about
Mhm.
bullies.
Yeah.
Evidently, the brother beat some dude up and broke his arm or pushed him or something like that and broke his
Yeah.
arm.
Yeah. Yeah. That
And that's
wasn't
why that's
really
why there's that's why there's a bully in the movie trying to get after him, but yet the
right.
brother was the one that but they never develop any of that. There's literally
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
scene
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
movie
Yeah.
there's literally a scene in the movie when the brother and sister are, like, trying to get away or whatever, find each other because the brother went out there looking for the dog like an idiot, and this random bully comes out of nowhere, starts beating him up a little bit, and the brother with the broken arm, which is why that
Yeah.
dude is beating him up, he's like, "You hurt my brother, you broke his arm, yada," and he just leaves. What the fuck?
Yeah. No. I know.
Like,
I know.
okay,
I know.
like, why is
I
that
know.
there? So
Yeah. Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
so you so anyways, the point is that while the brother and the sister are out and about, there's, like, some random new neighbor, and this random new neighbor is quiet and shy and to herself, okay, and then you could tell that the brother likes this girl, he thinks she's cute, you know what I'm saying, whatever, but then
Right.
when they
Right.
go, you can see this instant connection between her and the sister, and they don't even develop that relationship. There's no conversation at all between
Mm-mm.
the sister and this new girl. So, again, I'm not tripping on the fact that this girl is gay or whatever. Cool. I don't care. But why put a relationship in that you're not even gonna develop? There's not even a scene where it's like, we're hiding out from the dinosaurs at night and we're sharing stories about where we came from. This bitch just moved into town. Where are you from, bitch? What do you like? What's your favorite color? We
Nothing.
don't learn any of that. But in the end of the movie, these motherfuckers are holding hands like they've been two peas in a pod. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
it's so I
It,
feel like while I'm watching this movie, I just feel like you put that relationship there to put it there. You didn't put it there because these characters and their relationship means something to the story. So that's what I mean by like
yeah.
for the people out there that say something is woke, from their perspective, they
Right.
feel like you're putting something there just to be there. And
Right.
based on Anne Hathaway being the leader and Ewan McGregor just being written to be a bitch, and then this
Hmm.
girl all of a sudden, "Oh, I'm with you." You okay, I guess. It just
Yeah.
feels like you're putting it there for no reason. You feel what
Now,
I'm saying?
yeah,
And
I do feel that. Yeah, and
and
well,
and
let me. Yeah, go ahead.
and then in the beginning of the movie, of course, it's '80s, so you got the token black guy, right? And like you said, both of the bully
I know how that
and
was.
and our guy, he's got his token black guy too. Not no time in the entire film was our dude that we're watching, the brother, looking for his friends. Oh shit, where's James? Where's John? They're not. He's not looking for nobody. He's looking for a stupid ass dog, Starbucks or whatever his damn dog's name is. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I wanted to. That's what I
Like,
wanted to bring up.
what
Justin
are we
was just
doing
like,
here? Like,
I
what
was
are we
like,
doing?
that was the biggest thing. I was like, at the end, I'm like, yo, where's his boys at? Like, he got his dog, but it's like how they wrap it up was like everybody was in their spot and their everyone's kumbaya and having what barbecue. But I'm like, my man has his new girl. Okay, obviously there's spoilers going on now. But at the end, the son has a girlfriend now, right? Because he can't go with the other girl, because the other girl's with his sister. So okay, cool. He got his piece. Cool. But I'm like, they showing the backyard to kind of put a bow on it, like how everyone is. Like, they saved their friends in the neighborhood that was already established before this. But that the very last shot before end credits is everyone in the backyard who is saved, who's together now and at peace. And I'm like, but where's his boys? I mean, because they showed them that they were hanging tough. They were looking at a new girl through the gate. I did some of that stuff when I was a kid, like all that stuff. I know that I understood. I did all that crazy stuff, when I was 12, 13 years old. We all did, If you don't remember, I'm quite sure you did. So all this stuff. So I'm like, what's up with that? And like, yeah, there was some things where you kind of throw some things in. To me, it doesn't bother me as much as I think they're saying. Number one, okay, as just to bring what you're saying, Jason, about Hugh McGregor being a bitch, right? I get it, right? I'm like, why is he a bitch? But I get it because you know why? I grew up in around that Long Island. I'm not a Long Island kid. I'm a Queens kid. But the Long Island guys, and that's where they're coming from. Trust me, bro, they're bitches. For real,
Oh
for
shit.
real. And the
Oh
80s, I'm
shit.
not lying. So there was certain things
Shots
for me.
fired.
Like I said, right. I'm just saying from my perspective, because in Long Island, come on, Long Island, you got some crazy people in Long Island. Don't get me wrong, because some fathers will bust your ass. You know what I mean? But they weren't. No, they was going to work, coming home. The mothers, all the mothers I knew, Sonia, love you out there if you ever see me. She actually was one of the people, and Edie, bless her heart, bless her soul, because she passed. Those women actually helped raise us. They took us out to the beach. They took us out in the movies. So at Anne Hathaway for the suburbia part, and I think they were in New York or whatever, it was very true
Mhm.
to that extent. Not everything exactly, accurate, obviously. But when it comes to the guys, like the actual like the fathers were either one or two ways, Justin. Either they were bitches or they were just way too hard. And I
Mhm.
had both, you know what I mean? So I seen both. So when I saw that, I was like, all right, whatever. I mean, they just picked one of
Yeah.
those attitudes because they didn't want the person to be that hard. Because listen, 80s parents, come on. Come on. I can tell you stories, bro. 80s parents will, people got scars from 80s parents. So they were like, let's get the bitch ass parent, because there were some of them. So that to
Yeah.
me didn't bother me as much. I was like, all right, yeah, because but you know what? But you know what, Justin? When I was thinking of, maybe I'm overthinking. Let me know if I'm overthinking, bro. But I
Nah,
think
not at
there
all.
was more. I think there was more to him that they were trying to insinuate. Him being the way he was, he could have been a down
Mhm.
low brother. We don't know. It just made me feel that there was something more to him because it was too light. It was
That's
too
the thing.
vague.
And again, I have no problem with what the characters were technically portraying, whether what their orientation was, I'm not tripping.
Right,
If
right,
Anne Hathaway, if the mom was the leader of the family and the tough one, not tripping. Dad could be scared, cool. But it's how the movie portrays it. The movie
right,
is
right, right,
portraying this as like a deep relationship problem. Like Anne Hathaway straight up is like, it's not working. It's not working. I'm about to dip out. What the heck? Why, why,
right, right.
why you have to do these odd jobs? First of all, yo, here I go again. Here I go again. First of all,
Right, right.
the movie, I'm sorry, but, like, the movie's
Mhm.
portraying it as, like, they got this deep relationship issue, but it ends up being the fact that, like, Ewan McGregor's character had got laid off from his job, shit
Right,
happens, and he felt
right.
bad about it. Yo,
Kind of saw
I
that
have a hard
coming.
time my wife is a pediatric oncology nurse, she the breadwinner. I ain't shit. Okay.
Right.
And sometimes as a man, I feel a way about what I am able to do and how I'm able to step up and provide for my
Sure,
family. This is
sure.
real, right? But my wife supports me. We talk about it, this and that. But if I was the type of person who wasn't very communicative and I
Right.
hid all that sort of stuff, you could see perfectly how someone's gonna be like, yo, man, you ain't talking, we ain't doing nothing, this and that. I can't take this no more. Where you been at? Da 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 da. So I get
Right.
that. But then I'm telling the movie now, develop it. The movie doesn't. Okay.
No, no.
So when we talk about all that sort of stuff, it's really just a lot of these things the movie never develops, but it puts it so much in the forefront that I notice it so much. And then for me, you want to slow the action down. You want to slow your action down for this underdeveloped drama. That's where the movie lost me. The other thing was in the comedy. This movie stopping to show dinosaurs fucking and taking shits. Cool.
Yeah,
I got
take
I
a
got
shit.
I got
Right.
I got toddler humor too. I can laugh at that.
Right.
Okay. But
Right,
at the
right,
same,
right.
but at the same time, you know
I
what
like that
you
toddler
know
humor. I like that.
you know what would have won me over? What would have won me over is if when this kid is crying about his fucking dog, if Anne Hathaway would have just turned around and been like, "Bitch, your dog is dead." This
Right,
motherfucker
right,
was out
right.
there. The chain is loose. You know what I'm saying? Starbuck ain't nowhere to be found. He's probably got 8. He's done. Keep
Yeah,
your
just
ass in
leave
this
it
fucking house.
just
Keep your ass
I
in this house because I
I
promise you,
wouldn't have
he
brought
ain't
the I
gonna go
wouldn't have
look
brought
for
the
you.
dog back. I wouldn't have brought the dog back.
Don't bring it
Yeah,
back.
if it was
And then,
me, I would bring it back.
who is this? Who is this dog? Crypto in the end of the movie, like fighting off the dinosaurs. Get the fuck out of here! Like this is ridiculous. Like so. Anyways,
I know. It was
so now, right quick, I gotta address this. Talking about the friends, talking
yeah.
about the block party at the beginning of the movie, and then talking
Yep.
to the end
I
of the
did that.
movie. Yo,
Yeah.
so anybody right now, I'm about to spoil the end of this movie, and I have to spoil what happens in the end because this is like where we talk about with J.J. Abrams and a lot of his
Yeah.
projects with these mystery boxes that don't
Yeah, I
land.
miss
They
you.
don't stick the
Right.
landing. So for me personally, yeah, this movie was fine. It was fun enough. I
Yeah, it
definitely could
was
see it on streaming. There was 1 or 2 action scenes with the dinosaurs that I was like, "Okay." And there was one, I'll mention this in a second, but there was one scene that whether it happened at home on the TV or on the theater screen, it really didn't matter, but that did make me go, "Oh, fuck. I can't believe they just
yeah.
did that shit because definitely didn't see it coming." You know what I'm talking about. I
Yeah.
definitely did
Mhm.
not see that shit coming. So
Go
kudos to the movie for that. I'll mention it in a second, whatever. But they have this block party, and everybody at the block party evidently knows each other. They're tight. They're
Mhm.
super cool with each
Yep.
other. You feel what
Yep.
I'm
I
saying?
was yeah, I had those myself. Go ahead.
So in the end of the movie, here we go. Here we go. In the end of the movie, uh, the dad is dead. He got ate up long time
Yeah,
ago,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. That
And
I was surprised on that one. I ain't gonna front. Go ahead.
and
Go ahead.
that
That was
was like, oh,
yeah.
that was wild. That was like, I don't want him to die necessarily,
Yeah, yeah.
but that added some good weight to that portion of the
It
film. I'll
did.
give
It
you that.
did. It did.
I'll
Yes. I
give
give
you
him
that
that.
because I
Yes.
give them balls for doing that shit. However, you immediately reverse those balls at the end of the fucking movie because
Yeah. Yeah.
they find these portals, which again, whatever. They find these like spherical portals, right? Which basically looks like the Terminator. If you've seen the Terminator when he travels through time,
Yep.
and then that portal is there, and it's like everything else is cut around. Yet again, stealing from the 80s, James Cameron shit,
Yeah.
right?
Right, right. Yeah, it's an
That's
80s movie, yeah.
that's cool, that's cool, but they jump through the portal, and it allows them to jump back in to their neighborhood, or at least, like, maybe just outside their neighborhood the
Yeah.
same night that this whole shit goes down. So they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
No,
shit,
no, like
okay,
back to the future type of feel.
Back to the Future
Yeah.
type shit," right? Or to the past, whatever. That's
Yeah.
cool, fine. So then they're standing on this, like ridge, hill line, and they're like, "Oh shit, that's our neighborhood down there. Oh, it's raining. Oh, look, it's 20 minutes before this happens," the sister says. And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Who the fuck was looking at a clock when this shit jumped off? Y'all
That's
asses
what I'm
about to
saying, because
fall
I didn't
asleep.
see a clock.
That shit happened when you was in bed, bitch. Like,
Yeah, exactly. How you know?
so,
Like,
okay, whatever." So she's like, "Oh shit." And then so Anne Hathaway's thinking, "Think, how am I gonna get out of this? Think." So what does she do? In a random neighborhood, there's a payphone. I get it. It's the 80s, but ain't no
yep.
I mean, I guess it was by a bus stop or something, whatever. So
Yeah, it was an
she
odd
goes to
class
the bus
spot.
stop. She ends up earlier in the movie, we find out Ewan McGregor's character is working for a pizza delivery, right? Because he
Okay,
lost
fine.
his job and he was just trying to pick up some money on the side.
Yeah, 'cause he left
Fair
that
point.
night. Yeah.
Fair point. However, however, he's choosing when to deliver pizzas like it's Uber Eats. Last I checked,
Yeah, I know.
in the 80s and the 90s, you actually had a shift and you had to
Yeah.
be on shift. You couldn't just say, "Oh yeah, I think I'll go out for a couple hours." This ain't Uber. This ain't DoorDash. Motherfucker, you can't just pick when you
You
wanna
know
work.
what? Nice
So
and
anyways,
convenient, bro.
and not to mention that by the time this solar flare situation jumped off, it was
Yeah.
already past his shift. He was already at home. He didn't go back out, to my recollection. So by the time she calls
Yeah.
him to order some pizza, his ass should have been back at the fucking house with no pizza. So, anyways, he drives
Yeah,
up
yeah.
there. He's like, "Oh, what are you guys doing up here? Whatever, whatever." And then we see everything jump off in their neighborhood, but the family's
Right.
all together. Yay, happy ending. You could have left me with that, and I would have been like, I'm not gonna go in on you." But you
Yeah.
chose not to. You chose not to.
I told you.
So
I told
so
you.
so I gotta go in. I gotta
Yeah,
go
yeah,
in.
yeah, go ahead.
So then the wonderful Anne Hathaway goes back to the payphone, and she evidently has every freaking person who lives in the fucking community's number on the top of her head. Now,
I guess I
but
don't know, did she call or
how
did she go? I guess, yeah, I
yes,
guess she
because
did.
in the end, they purposely show again, they didn't have to do this. You did this movie. You did this, right? They purposely say on the news broadcast, "Oh, if it wasn't
Yeah,
for Cindy Sue or whatever her name was,
yeah, yeah,
then
yeah,
not everybody in the town would have been saved." But luckily, she called them just before the shit jumped off and told them to
yeah, yeah.
drive up to Ridgecrest or wherever the fuck, right?
Right, right,
so,
right, right, right,
so I'm
right,
thinking,
right, right, she did.
so I'm thinking, wait a minute, hold up.
Now
When she called her husband and dude
yeah.
drove up there with the pizzas, they were watching the dome and all this shit happen and got displaced. They saw it happen. How does she call them does she go back down there somehow? Is this thing a recurring
Yeah,
situation?
yeah,
Like,
I don't know
how is she
how
doing this?
she how
And
fast
and
she that
then
she had to call. Go ahead.
and then skip all that. I feel like you're safer in larger numbers. You only have to outrun the slowest person in your group. So if
Right.
she had everybody's number off the top of her head and everyone
Uh-huh.
at the block party is so tight, why the fuck wouldn't you call your homies? Think about this for a second. Think about this for a second. You live where you live, and let's say you're tight with your neighbors. I'm not that tight with my neighbors only because I'm going all over the place. My wife is lovely.
Right.
She knows everybody. So they ain't calling me.
Right.
They gonna call her. "Rachel, are you okay?" You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody
Right,
ever ask
right.
about me.
Yeah, talk to
They
that
don't
brother. I'm the same
nobody
way.
always ask about her. Nobody ask, "How's your day, Jay Green? How you good?" They don't give a fuck. The point the point is the point the point is, why wouldn't you call your neighbors at all? Why wouldn't the son call his friends? "Yo, Josh, you still alive? Fuck, this is crazy." Why wouldn't
That's
you
what I'm
go to their house?
saying.
If the phones are down, fair point.
I
But
don't yeah.
why wouldn't you go to their house? Like, we're not seeing any of this, like, think about all the natural destruction movies. Think about the original Jurassic Park. Think
Mhm.
about any time some big calamity has jumped off. I wanted this movie to be what it said it was supposed to be. Oh shit, it's Jurassic Park in neighborhoods. As Jurassic
Right.
Park's been telling us it was trying to be and didn't give us that. They gave us a clone bitch and some fucking locusts. Okay? So
Yeah, exactly. And some
why
hybrid.
are why are we making moves in broad fucking daylight? Move at night, stealth swag. You dig what I'm saying? Why are you not calling people that evidently your neighbors have guns and stuff? Like, why are you not? It just certain things, those things just took me so much out of the movie, right?
Yeah.
And then the drama slowing down the action, and then you trying to be funny, but you didn't say the funniest thing, which would have been like, "Bitch, your dog is dead." You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
So,
right, 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 right. I think that no, I agree, man, on a lot of those situations because
yeah.
it felt like somebody just to cut you off real quick. I just want to say that it felt like the movie was like a 15-year-old had an idea and they said, okay, so what is that ball about? I'm not sure, but it does this. They're like, okay, fine. Like a
Yeah.
15-year-old actually thought about the story. Not saying a 15-year-old can't get a nice, good story. I'm just saying
Right.
the average, it was like that. And like you said, all of these holes, yes, we could pick it apart. But all in all, for me, that the movie was like, yeah, it had a lot of problems. I'm not gonna lie. But it was like I said, it was like a Saturday morning thing where even if you had to go to the bathroom and come back, you'd be caught up with no problem. Like you're not missing anything really. And the moments where I have to say this, I'm going to give the Saturday afternoon specials back in the days much more props than this one in a way because at least the storyline, everything kind of made sense. Holes were closed. And like Justin mentioned, that thing of like the kid going out looking for his dog, fine. He's an idiot. He should get killed. But then all of a sudden, out the blue, the bully comes up, takes him down. The bully's brother is like, no, don't do it, don't do it. And they're pulling all this tussling back and forth. And he's like, all right. And like Justin said, he goes away and disappears. But you like, Where'd that come from? Like, why even bother? But you know what I think too? Just being an artist and knowing like editing, I really feel that they looked at the movie. I'm telling you right now, they probably were in the viewing room, looked at the whole thing and said, you know what, let's cut this, cut this, cut this. I bet you the director was like, yeah, but it's gonna be really jumpy. It's not that type of movie people have to worry about. Just cut it. So when you see shit, you be like, where did that come from? Why wasn't that explained? It's like we want to get into it more. Like, no, don't worry about it. It's about dinosaurs. I don't give a fuck about the neighbor. We worry about that shit later. We're tying the bow at the end. It just looked like it was like that. Not excusing the director, bro. I am not excusing the director. You know what I mean? Because there's many directors who were just pigeonholed and worked it out. James Cameron is a big example of that. And he made a classic anyway, even getting pigeonholed. But at the same time, yes, it was one of these movies that you feel like, you know what? If you watch it for what it is, all right, whatever. You know, dinosaurs killing people, cool. But if you're going in there to think like you really going to have some shit fleshed out and you're going to have like this heartfelt, nah, bro, you're gonna be like you said, Justin, I'm not gonna lie. When when I said it too, I'm like, when you say that when they came back, right? Like when they came back and they said, all of a sudden there was a phone like at the corner, bro. I grew up in a suburban neighborhood. There's no motherfucking phones, even back in the 80s in the suburban neighborhood. There's none. There's not that shit's in the city or in Brooklyn or whatever. It's never that's not there. Or you're by the train station. Like I know this. Like people who look at that will look at like that shit don't work. That it doesn't
And did
no.
she call collect? Did she call collect? She ain't had no
She
money.
called collect because when the older lady said she called me collect. So
Oh
I
my
remember call
god,
collect. Okay, so younger people out there, there's
this
a
is
time
crazy,
when you
man.
called and the person that you call, you can say call collect and they'll charge them for the call. Just let you know, guys know what we're talking about. Meaning collect calls if you're too young to know what that means.
It's crazy, man.
But
Also,
yeah,
real quick,
so anyway, yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta mention too when the Tyrannosaurus Rex snuck up on the family in the
That was
alleyway,
funny.
just
That
chilling.
was
It was just
funny.
like coming up like
But
this.
it was like,
I'm like, wait a minute. Every single dinosaur movie,
that
no
was
matter how,
hilarious.
even Land Before Time, these dinosaurs are boom, boom, boom.
Right.
This motherfucker's like do 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 do
He
do
was
do
like,
do
yo,
like a
I
cartoon or
got
some shit.
skills.
Like I'm like, yeah, that shit's
And
hilarious.
you know what? The dinosaurs, real quick, just to kind of throw it out there, is you notice that a lot of them have feathers on there, and they had like fur. And the reason for
Mhm.
that is because nowadays scientists now in the past like year and a half or so are getting more accurate on how these dinosaurs probably did look, not as scaly as we thought they were, and that is why these guys said, well, let's put in the latest hypothesis, not hypothesis, but
Yeah.
just findings for
Mhm.
dinosaurs. So that's why they made them a little fuzzy and everything else. Because I was looking, I was like, why are they fuzzy? I'm like, oh, that's right. So
Yeah.
anyway, just to let you know. Yeah, yeah.
Now I'm sure if I watch this movie again, I'll still be annoyed at the characters for sure, and I'll still definitely
Right.
I'm not gonna not see the plot holes and
Yeah,
say, "But
yeah,
no, it's a good movie." But if you like this movie, awesome. I want more dinosaur shit.
yeah.
I want them to just this movie also I do wonder because this is the same cat that made It Follows. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He
I
comes
didn't
from
see
like
that movie
a
though.
horror. Oh, it's good. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
My wife hates it, but whatever. It's a great
Okay.
movie. But this
Excuse me.
movie, I do feel like probably could have been rated R, and they might have toned it down a little bit,
I'm
right?
telling yeah, yeah.
And it definitely probably was longer because I think it was like what, like 90 minutes basically,
It
and you
wasn't
had a
long.
lot,
Yeah.
and you had like a lot of elements in there that yeah should have been fleshed out. So I do wonder, but it was
Mhm.
fine. It was like, it's something to laugh at.
Yeah.
What would be fun is what I would like to do is maybe play a drinking game with this movie. You know what I'm saying? You get your shots ready and all that. And so you say every time this little boy whines or does some dumbass shit, take a shot. And you will be fucking trashed by the end of this movie. It will be fucked up.
You would
You have to
be
call
you
out
would
sick
be.
the next day. You know what I'm saying?
But I tell you this
Straight
though, I
up.
tell you this though, I really feel that if you have kids watch it, if they're young, they'll enjoy it.
I
Like
think
if
my
a
son would
kid
like
would have
it.
watched it, I think they would enjoy it because all the other nuances that we're talking about, they won't pick up.
Yeah.
They're just looking
Yeah.
at people running around. So I think it was really designed for kids, but all in all, they could still did better. But I want to throw this out just real quick. Just give me like a second. When you was talking about the end, right? And how things were just kind of like it didn't line up what was
Mhm.
going on because the time didn't give the people enough time. To me, just to throw it out there, would have made this movie kind of cool for me anyway. I think if they would have came back with enough time to go down to town and start getting their friends together, like a clock is ticking. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, yo, we got, and then start getting people out the house, moving things. And then in between that, there are problems with doing that. People don't want to leave their dogs or whatever. And you get everyone just running, and then have that cool moment, of everyone just running out of town. Roll, go, we got 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, four, three. Like that would have been cool. And then everyone comes out. Like that would have
Mhm.
been like, oh shit, and there, bow, a big boom. Like these, I'm telling you, suits in Hollywood at times are just freaking idiots. Like, why don't you? It doesn't take much to do. In fact, that would have been so much less money because you just had to have people run down the street. You don't have to show any effects, and maybe to the end, everything is just people. So, yes, I agree with Justin. It's like, what the hell are you doing? You don't have enough time. You've seen what's going on. The pizza man, the father, doesn't add up from the time that you saw him before coming home, asking his son, "Hey, can you help me take off the pizza on the top of the car?" Sure, Dad. Why doesn't Mom like that? Oh, she always making fun of me. Bro, you in the house. And like Justin said, all of a sudden he outside. Just
Yeah.
happen. And God knows how late. What pizza shop is open? Yo, I was in Long Island. Motherfuckers are not open past like 10, maybe. You know what I mean? This motherfucker get pizza at 11 and change. What was it, like 11 something? It was like,
Yeah. He ain't wearing no jacket
yeah.
in the rain and
No,
shit. Like, get the fuck out of here.
he just rolled up, you know what I'm saying, with his Chevy.
Oh, and
I'm
wait,
like,
time out a
oh,
minute. Time out a minute. And ain't nobody really that worried about how much it's raining. It's a freaking torrential downpour. And it's supposed you just had a summer block party earlier that day.
yeah. Right. You know what? It's one of those things where you like, yo, bro, like, yo, what do you like? What's going on? Like,
Nah, man.
why, why you do this? But
Here's the
like
thing.
I said, kids will like it. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now again, it's all subjective, y'all. There's objectivity, there's subjectivity.
Yeah.
You hear me say that shit all the time. I'm gonna get a shirt that says objective versus subjective, right? So I'm nitpicking. It's fine. Anne Hathaway did great. Ewan McGregor did
Yeah.
what he was told. These kids were annoying as fuck. Whatever. Fuck the damn dog. I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I will say that what was probably like again the best part of the movie was the scene when Ewan McGregor gets it. Not because he gets it, just because like out of everything they were giving us, that was like, whoa, we are in a
Yeah.
movie with dinosaurs in the neighborhood and some shit just got real. And it
Yeah.
got that was
I
dope.
agree.
I will
I,
give
I
the
agree.
movie
And you know
full
what? And
credit for that.
I do give him some props on how it was shot on some occasions about like how the dinosaurs didn't come up right away. There were these things in the woods. And if you ever been in homes like in suburbia, like those gates, how they kind of layered, right? So when
Mhm.
you see like raccoons and things at night, it's creepy because there's no real light in the back. So when you see things move, you always like, what the fuck is that? So those
Yeah.
moments, the way the set design was pretty accurate, and I did like that because I'm like, yeah, I know what that is. That's accurate. It looks creepy even in the daytime, and then like having a shed, and then having like a little alley, like a little space in between a gate and the house. It's just some alley. There's some space there. I don't know what that space is for. Everybody used to put their bike there. I did. People used to put
Yep.
shit there. I did. Like I know those spots. So the set design to me kind of got me in it. I was like, okay, this is pretty accurate for me. Like I know how this is. I wasn't deep in Long Island. I'm in Far Rockaway, Queens, but that's another story. But we had like the same setup. So that was kind of cool, him going over these, just the look of it. And then when they came in, that is a good idea. Like, damn, they're gonna get that's fucked up because these
I
things are just doing what they do. So
I'll
all in
also
all,
say yeah, and I also say a good thing before we dip out of here. I really did like that snake eel dinosaur thing, whatever that was.
that was slick. That
That
was
was
slick.
dope. And
That
but
was
you know
slick.
what? That was pretty
That was
fun. I was definitely like nervous,
me
but
too.
what took me out of it was the lack of awareness. These MFers, they are in this house like there are not dinosaurs in their goddamn neighborhood.
Justin, I'm
And
not
I'm
gonna
like,
lie, bro. People out there in Long Island are
oh,
fucking like, yo, you
oh my
can,
God,
yo, I'm telling you, man, you can like put a gun to their head and they're like, oh, I'm telling you, bro. So
crazy.
I know people are just not aware. That's
I would
one
have,
thing
I
I'm
would
like,
have,
yeah.
I would have really enjoyed like trying to
Oh, I
creep
gotta say one
around.
thing. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead. I got
I
one
would
other
have
thing I
really
gotta say.
enjoyed if this movie just gave us some creep around at night. It's
Hmm.
dawn. Maybe you see where you gotta go. Now we have that big run from the Tyrannosaurus Rex, gets
Yeah,
the dad. Oh, we get still gotta get up there. We narrowly escaped. Cool.
that wasn't
Give
bad.
us give us a moment either at night sorry, give us a moment at night or even in the day where that snake
Right.
situation is in the house and they're very aware of it, trying to shh, quiet, quiet, don't breathe. Shh, shut the fuck up.
Right,
You
seeing them moving.
trying to get trying to get away like stealth, like your white knuckle grip holding your I would have liked it, like, but it's all right, whatever. Check it out.
No, yeah. I mean, there's some moments that, of course, Justin actually just made it sound better if they would have just listened to him.
That's what
But
I
there
do.
was a they don't listen to him. The thing, but one thing I do want to bring up, and I'm just saying, guys, it's just a me thing, but I'm old enough to know how this thing works. I'm quite sure if anyone out there who is conscious and is aware of stuff knows what they did there, but it's more like yeah, this is how it was back in the 80s. At the end, when the Anne Hathaway and the kids fall through don't that sphere, right, to get into other time, they fall into a pool of a sister, black woman,
Mm.
right, in the house, nice house, by the way, comes out and going, yo, what are you doing in my pool, right? They're like, oh, so sorry. They're coming out the pool. She's like, get out of here. And then she just goes back inside. And then they sit there just for a little while and start talking. I'm like, yo, where's the sister at? Why she just like, I'm like, oh, I get it. I'm telling you, man, little things like that. Like back in the 80s, they would do that. They'll throw a sister, somebody in their brother. What you doing, man? Get out of here, man. And then that's it. No one calls the cops. No one goes out there and say, yo, who they are. No one grabs them by the collar like, yo, what the fuck are you, yo? What you doing in my
Let that
place, yo?
shit hey,
What's
let that
that?
shit be reversed. Let that shit be reversed. Let a black family fall in that goddamn pool and have a white owner to the house. You better get off my land, boy. It's done.
Exactly. So I'm like, where did she go? She just disappeared. It's like it's her house. Oh my god! And they're sitting there talking at her pool. I'm like, I'm like,
Man.
yo. I'm like, but you know what? I think I get the joke, but still, I wouldn't have done. I wouldn't have done that. Like I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have put that scene in there. I
Even
just wouldn't have
hey,
done that.
even in Endgame, this is the last thing I'll say. We're about to get up out of here, y'all. But
All right.
Even in Endgame, when Scott Lang came out of the quantum realm in his van and he's like, "Hey, help me out," as you see him
Right.
walking off with his shit from the storage units, even the storage unit security guard was standing there like, "All right, motherfucker, get on out of here. Go on, keep going."
Right.
And
Right.
this lady went back in, you know what I'm saying, finished her fucking cheese sandwich, watching
Yeah. And
National
watching
and shit.
TV. And
Fuck outta here.
there's a whole white family outside in the night,
Hanging
wet,
out.
hanging, talking,
Yeah.
trying to get shit together. Like, so I mean, unless she was like, listen, if I call on them, they're gonna call on me. Who God knows. But anyway, yeah, yeah. So yeah,
There it
yeah. So anyway, you know what? Give it to a kid. Let them have a good time watching it. Otherwise, wait for it on streaming.
That's what I say.
You know? Yeah,
Alright, y'all. Well, shit. There we go. I just
yeah,
wanna say, first of all, we appreciate everybody, chiming in the chats and everything like that. We've been, like, reading the chats, through and through. Tamika coming in hot,
yep,
Subjective Styles coming in hot, my wife
yep,
was in there a little bit, coming in hot and all that sort of stuff. So, big ups on y'all, hanging
yep.
out with us. Again, we're gonna continue to do these lives. Sometimes it'll be either straight a
It's
movie
fun.
review, maybe a little bit of a spoiler, talk about some movie news, things like that, trying to build the
Yeah,
community. If you're having a good time, you know somebody that would love to get down with the get down and hear what we got to say or chime in,
right.
whether you agree with us or you don't. It's all good. We're a film fan community. You dig what I'm saying?
That's right.
So
That's right.
come come back. We're gonna keep doing it, and the more people come in, we'll try some different things. See how we can make it grow, y'all. So
Oh yeah, let's
hey
keep
guys,
at it.
yo, what's coming out this upcoming weekend though? This upcoming week, is it
I'm
Jason
trying to
Statham's what's it called? Mutiny? I can't
mute.
wait. I think is that what Mutiny? Is that what it
I
is?
think it's mutiny. Yeah, it's mutiny.
I can't
It's mutiny.
I'm not gonna yo,
I don't
lie.
know, man. Let me see.
I'm not gonna lie
If
to
you
y'all.
see it,
Hey,
I'll see it.
real quick, I know there's a little bit of a delay in the chat, but real quick in the chat, if you like Jason Statham movies as dumb as some of them can be, and boy, some of them can be dumb.
Yeah.
Tell me right now in the chat if you like Jason Statham movies. As dumb- because what we could do, I was thinking about this the other day actually, because I watch movies while I work out, right? When I'm at my place of business where I work out at Lifetime, I have on my iPad, I watch Jason Statham movies, right? And I'm like just
Yeah.
in the zone. He's like kicking ass and taking names and shit. So what we can do with Mutiny coming out, where one man, one ship, one storage container. I don't know what's going on, but
Right, right. Right,
he's about to
right,
beat up the cartel or something like that, right? But what we
right.
could do is we could do some like, top 5 or top 3 Jason Statham movies or some shit like that, and
Oh,
then
yeah, yeah, yeah,
also
you can do that.
review Mutiny. So if y'all out there are fans of Jason Statham and you might go see this new movie he's got coming out,
Right.
yo, let's
Do
talk
it.
some Jason Statham for reals. I love Jason Statham, right? He's doing it. He's the
Yeah,
last
he's doing his
him and
films.
Jason Statham and Keanu Reeves to me are the last action heroes. And Tom Cruise are
Yeah,
the last
yeah,
action
yeah, and I
heroes.
think we should get
They
into
out
one day,
there.
like, we missing some action heroes, some solo action heroes, so, yeah, we made to just speak about that. Who you think is a good, the action heroes, man, like, who's our action hero, so,
Who's
you
doing
know?
it?
No, absolutely. You know what? I want to throw out there really quick that we have a film festival coming out called GainsCon. You guys may know already that what I do from like postings and stuff like that. And as you know, Justin Green himself is our director of marketing. So he's along a ride with us. He just came on board, and he's making us even better. So come along, go to GainsCon mediainc.org. Check us out. Or if you are an artist and you have like an action film, a sci-fi film, even a screenplay writer, or you even have music or something like that, we'll love to see it. It's going to be in Las Vegas. So if you guys want to come to Las Vegas on December 4th and 5th, we'd love for you to kind of join us and just talk to us and have a good time. So we want to throw it
Yeah.
out there. And this is what we do, because we hear, just like Justin and I always talking about like films and everything else and our opinions, but we also want to help those who want to be in the industry as well, put them on the right road. And with so just check us out, and we'll love to hear from you guys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
All right, y'all. That's gonna do it for today. Your
yeah.
homie, Jay Green, Barry, we out.
Peace.